So as of today, we're taking this campaign to a new level. My candidacy to become the next congressman is but a continuation of my hard work, my commitment, and my lifelong love of this city. And I pledge to do all in my power to stand up for Memphis and to be a congressman we can all be proud of. I'm here today in no small measure because members of this community, my teachers from Riverview and Carver High School, and preachers and other community leaders have believed in me, encouraged me, and have stood beside me throughout my 23 years of practicing law. I come from a poor family. I was born of a teenage mother who dropped out of high school. I grew up on welfare. I know what it's like to live off of food stamps. Who best to represent the needs and hopes and desires of the people of the 9th Congressional District than one who has walked a mile in their shoes? All right. I understand the pain of many families who grew up in the 9th Congressional District, but I also understand and believe in the promise and the potential that lies within our people. In these tough economic times, the people of the district need a representative who understands tough times, who has lived tough times, who has overcome tough times. And I want to be that congressman. Political campaigns indeed are about the future, and political leadership should be focused on the future. And so I'm running for Congress because I'm concerned about this community, I'm concerned about our economy, and I'm concerned about the future of this district. And that's why I'm asking the public to consider voting Ricky Wilkins, the next congressman from the 9th Congressional District.
Yes. Questions? Ricky, I assume that you know as well as anybody else that the previous challengers to Congressman Cohen have lost by margins of 4-1 and 8-1, and these people who've had names in the community. What makes you think you can do better than that against Cohen?
Well, if you'll look at the people that are standing behind me now, they are focused and committed and fired up to go out and take our message deep into the community. We understand that we've got to win this campaign from the bottom up, not the top down. We're going to take our message to the people. We understand that people want change in the community, and we're going to provide that change.
And we are fired up and ready to go.
Aside from your own qualifications and desire to serve, do you have bones to pick with the existing congressman? Are there shortcomings that you want to remedy?
I have no bones to pick with the congressman. I simply believe that it's time to move on. The congressman represents the past. I represent the future. He served this community for a number of years. I think that it's time for this community to move on if we are to realize our full potential.
Ricky, he has strategically been successful in the last couple of hours to avoid having to debate his opponents simply by minimalizing them. How are you going to avoid that? How are you going to force him to debate you, or do you think a debate is needed?
I'm going to take my message to the people. That's what I'm going to do. And I want to say to you, I'm encouraged as we continue to get out into the community and talk with all the community-based organizations and talk to regular folks on the community. People want change in this community. Debating Cohen is fine with me. If he wants to debate, we'll debate. If he doesn't want to debate, it's not going to alter or change our approach to going out and taking our message to the people.
What specific issues are a contrast between you and the congressman?
Well, let me just say this. This is going to be a long campaign. There will be lots of times to talk about the differences between me and Congressman Cohen, but let me just say this. I've spent my entire professional life, from the day I stepped foot back home in Memphis 23 years ago, working and giving back to the community. I've not asked anything of the community. I have worked hard to give back to the community. There are some who have been career politicians who live off of the community. I think the community is ready now for a new brand, a new wave of leadership to help usher in the next generation to take us to a new level. And that's why I'm running for the campaign. That's why I'm putting myself in the position to be the next congressman.
You know, a number of people have become disenchanted with the incumbent. when he goes off on issues like marijuana and other things like that that seem to, I don't know, broaden or kind of, I don't know, in some cases, it trivializes the office. You agree with that, or you gonna deal with those kind of issues or anything like that?
Well, let me just say, I read the paper like you do, and I know that there's a growing concern in this community about some of the tangents that Congressman Cohen has gone off on and some of the activity that he has been a part of, tweeting. You guys report on all of that. I think the public is drawing their own conclusions about that, but again, that doesn't impact what we're doing. We're trying to say to the public, it is time for Memphis to bring in a new wave of leadership that can speak to the needs of the people, that understands the needs of the people, and have the compassion to put people first, regardless of the situation, regardless of who the adversaries may be. That's what my candidacy is going to be about.
Well, Ricky, you talk about being very close to the people. You've worked in various capacities in the city for quite a long time, putting you very close to the community. What sorts of things are you hearing from the constituency that they desire?
Well, let me just say this. We live in one of the most poverty-stricken areas of a metropolitan city of its size in America. Obviously, the issues of economics and job creation, issues of education, we've had a huge, long, 2-year battle about education in this community. People are concerned about the ability to make sure they have a job to pay their bills. We've got to make sure that we provide opportunity for people to improve their lives and their living conditions. That's what I've been about over the 20 years. I've spent a lot of time going back and forth to Washington, D.C., fighting the bureaucrats to get federal dollars into Memphis to tear down old housing and build new housing. My candidacy will simply be an extension of that work that I've done, because I truly believe that we have to have strong leaders who will stand up for the people and put the people first.
Ricky, you seem to be accentuating the positive with this presentation, but I think it is likely, I bet you think it's likely too, you're going to be challenged on a couple of the cases you've dealt with. You're going to be challenged about the Lineberger arrangement and also the Performa suit, which a lot of people thought went on and racked up all kinds of debts for the city and so forth. How would you respond to that? You're going to be hit with that, let's face it.
Let me just say that in my 23 years of practicing law, I'm very proud of the clients that have entrusted me to work with and represent them. I think most of my clients, by and large, will tell you that I'm a hard worker, someone who's honest, who stood up for them and fought hard for them and produced the results that justified any fees that I earned.